How y'all doing? It's Gunnar Helm. You're watching Third and Longhorn. Be sure to like and subscribe. Welcome.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another special interview edition of Third and Longhorn. Today we have a guy that we've been trying to get for a minute. I'm really excited about it because after digging around online, it's tough to find a lot on this guy, but I think that is a good symbol for what we know of him, and I think he's going to be a guy that is going to step up into a major role this year. So everybody, please welcome Gunnar Helm. Gunnar, thanks for being here. Man, so you came from Denver, Colorado, right? Englewood, right outside. Is that correct?
Yes,
yeah.
sir, yeah.
And so we always start off the same way. What brought you to Texas?
Well, I could give you the cliche, alumni. That's what everyone else says. But honestly, I knew I was going to commit here on the plane ride in, flying over.
Really?
I came in the summertime. It was during COVID, so my process was a little bit different. So I couldn't visit any facilities. Never saw any facilities. Never saw a stadium until I actually got here. So I just there was something about it here.
Had you watched games growing up?
There was just always something about Texas, honestly. I had every offer that I could possibly dreamed of. This is one of my last offers. I think it was third or second to last. So it was pretty late in the process, but there was just always something about it. My dad asked me after I got the Alabamas, the Ole Miss, the LSUs, all those kind of schools.
I love how he just grouped them together. After I got the Alabamas.
He kind of asked me, is there any other school deep down that you would love to have as an option? And the first thing came to my mind was just Texas. I don't know why, don't know what it was. There was just always something about the burnt orange.
That's a sign that you believe. That's a sign that you believe burnt orange, right?
No, I gotta ask though, because that is amazing. First off, what you just said, but like coming from Colorado, going to Texas in the summertime, feeling that Texas heat.
Yeah.
What was your first interaction and experience with dealing with that Texas heat, especially with workouts and all of that?
I guess it comes second nature with all the running we were doing.
You had to worry about
just trying to stay alive. Yeah.
With that, let me ask you this: we talk about the Texas heat, and then Colorado, a place of high altitude. Yeah. What do you think affects you more, the heat or a place like Colorado, where it's you lose your breath a little bit?
Well, it's funny because every time I go home to train, I lose my breath quick like that. And then I come back down here and I feel like I could do anything. So that the altitude affects me more when I go back home. I thought that, it was easier to train down here. Honestly, I never really felt the heat, believe it or not.
Even when you first got out here?
I mean, when I first visited, I was like, damn, it's hot here. But it's pretty humid. I got off the plane, it felt like I was somewhere, I don't know. You think Austin is humid? Yeah.
So then what was it like playing against U of H there at U of H? Houston
well, I mean, it was later on in the season.
That's
so,
true.
I mean, I guess it wasn't as bad, but I've been there in the summertime, and I know what you're saying.
Okay.
One of the guys I worked with used to play for the Texans. He told me, he'd bring out 3 pairs of gloves, 2 towels. So I kind of took that on during camp. I bring out 3 pairs of gloves, 3 towels, switch them out whenever I can.
Smart. You really ain't sweating until you switch out them cleats.
Yeah,
that's for the trenches. That's O&D line, though.
That's crazy. You feel like you step in pools during camp.
Yo.
being able to be co-tight ends with JT, what has he meant to you? Because he gets a bunch of the notoriety, a bunch of accolades and whatnot, a bunch of attention. What has he meant to you, and how does he help your game?
It means the world. Honestly, I think we learned a lot from each other. I took some of the stuff that he does well at in the pass game, and he took some of the stuff I did well in the run game, and I think that we built off each other. I get kind of the question a lot, like, what has he meant? I mean, he's meant everything. I mean, we came in together, basically grew up in this system together. We know this system like the back of our hand together, and everything that he's going to accomplish here in the next couple of weeks and the next couple of months, I'm glad to see it. I'm really proud of him.
But I mean, let's not dance around it. Like it's you going forward, right? Mm-hmm. So you got to carry that thing going forward. So you already had the run game. I've seen you make some plays in the pass game. What are you most excited about for the new opportunity?
Honestly, it's going to sound crazy, but I get the same kind of excitement and feeling of success springing a long run than I do scoring a touchdown. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I can get anyone into the end zone any way I can, whether that's me, whether that's Blue, whether that's Sed, whether that's any of our running backs, if I can make a downfield block for Quinn or one of our receivers, I mean, we all benefit the same.
You just want to play football.
I just want to play football.
That's that answer.
This feels like a George Kittle-esque answer. Like,
speaking of that, I want to kind of piggyback off that because I play DN. We go against tight ends all the time, so I kind of want to pick your brain a little bit. What's the mentality blocking one-on-one in that tight end room? Because in the defensive room, you'll get benched if you get blocked by a tight end.
Yeah.
So what's the language or the verbiage in the tight end room when you got to go one-on-ones against a dog at the DN position?
Let me go off on a little bit of a story real quick.
Yeah.
So I came in early in 2021. I graduated early. I came down here, and we had just taken a dude out of the portal, Ray Thornton from LSU.
Yeah.
And I was running with the twos, so the way our scrimmages are set up, the twos go against the one defense, the two defense goes against the one offense. So I'm out there, and we call a play where I slide back, and I got to try to kick him out. Well, I'm sliding back on Ray Thornton, and he was playing meaningful minutes in the SEC when I was in 8th grade. So the ball snaps, and I'm sliding back, and honestly, I just tried to knock him out. I was trying to send a message. I don't know what I was trying to do, but I used zero technique on how to cut him out of the gap, and it was straight on. I flew back into Bijan. I mean, he hit me into Bijan. I damn near made the tackle on Bijan. We get off to the sideline, and B comes straight up to me, and I thought, he's about to rip me a new one. And he said, "You all right?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You needed that." And so ever since then, I thought it's probably smart to listen to Banks on how to slide back, especially bigger dudes like that.
I had no idea what that story was going, but that was funny. That made my day, man. That's awesome.
I want to talk about how complicated Steve Sarkisian's offense is, or a lot of people say that it's complicated, right? A lot of shifts in motion. You just talked about how you slide back.
Yeah.
You and JT working in tandem on different formations, all of the pre-snap movement. Has it been difficult for you to be able to catch on it now that you're year 3, year 4, all the way into the system? What has it been like with your progression from year 1 to year 3, year 4, trying to get used to what Sark likes to do?
Well, first of all, I think our coaches do a great job of helping us install the offense. I mean, we're doing these team runs, and we're installing the offenses before we condition and stuff. And this is probably my 5th or 6th time going over install 1. Honestly, it's probably more than that. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I've looked over the same playbook every semester, every summer, every spring, going into fall camp. We restart. So, I mean, by the time we get to camp, these young guys that just came in will have learned this install 1 through 10 probably 3-4 times.
Yeah.
So
you're like year 8 now.
Yeah, seriously, that's what I'm saying. I've seen this stuff, I mean, more times than not. So, I mean, I like to think I know this offense like the back of my hand. But it's kind of like riding a bike. Once you kind of get in, get the concepts and the passing schemes and run concepts and calls with the line, I think, you start to get it, and it makes a lot more sense.
Is it harder remembering route combinations or blocking calls for a tight end?
I guess it would just depend on the play. Yeah. I don't know. We definitely do have a lot of complicated route concepts, but I mean, the calls come from inside out. So, I mean, Jake will make a call, and then depending on his call, that's what my call is. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
When we talk about specific play designs with Sark, one of my favorite plays from last season, I shit you not, was, I forgot what game, but there was a slow developing play. I think you were in there blocking for maybe 3 to 4 seconds. I would say, and then you leaked out for the touchdown.
That's been in the playbook so I've been waiting for that one for so long.
That was going to be my question.
He finally called it.
That was my question. So you knew you was going to score on that play.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it soon. I mean, you can see on the film, I think it was said, he was pointed down the field.
But those are usually like the hardest ones, when it's like,
for real,
wide open.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, what you thinking when that ball's coming to you in slow motion like that?
I don't know. I was trying to turn my head as quick as I could because I knew the safety flowed hard over the top. He went with AD. But as soon as he slipped a little bit, I was like, oh. I just don't know what to do when I score. I have like something in my mind, but like the OU touchdown was different because it was like we were going into their side.
Yeah.
So I just took a play out of AD's book and blew them the kiss. Iowa State, my mind I just went blank. I didn't know what to do. I waved a finger or something.
do like that one kid. Did y'all see that clip? This kid, he put the ski mask on, kick the door, did Dougie.
I think JT did that.
He did like 9 celebrations.
Put them all together.
The dude from Southern.
Yeah, just go crazy. That's your moment. That's your moment.
Yes, sir.
Well, man. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Gunnar, what can we expect from you now that you're the guy, right? You're the guy, and what can we? Does your role change when it comes to blocking? Do you block less? Do you go out for passes more? Are you going to be more successful to catching the ball, catching more touchdowns? What's going to change with Gunnar's play on this offense now?
I would just say that's up to Sark, whatever he feels more comfortable doing.
What do you want?
I want whatever he wants. I want to win.
Wait up.
That's a great political answer.
Great
I like it.
That was awesome.
Not to be short with that.
No,
that's the truth.
I get it.
That's the right answer. I mean, I want to win a national championship. I don't care if I block every snap of every game.
So Gunnar Helm was a 2023 All Big 12 honorable mention.
Yes, sir.
What do you want that to say when we say 2024?
I mean, you already know the answer to this one. SEC, first team All SEC. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I mean, that's the goal for sure.
Just
Don't
gonna
get
tell
me
me
wrong,
national champion, but I wanted to say first team All SEC.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Academically and on the field. Yeah.
I love that academically as well.
So now you're looking at a standpoint where you already talked about JT departing. Well wishes to him, much deserve everything that he got. You're sitting as the longest tenured tight end in the room now, in a history and lineage of tight end play that goes back all the way to Bo Scaife, who also came from Colorado.
Yeah.
So, like, as far as holding up that tight end banner, do you feel like there's any added pressure to it? And do you feel like you got to take the younger ones under your wing, right? Got some that came in last year, got another one that came in this year in the recruiting cycle, got a transfer that came in through the recruiting cycle. Is that your responsibility to be able to help bring them along, or where does that kind of fit from a leadership standpoint of where you are now?
Absolutely. I think that the tight end position at Texas is more different now than it's ever been from Sark's play calling and just his offense in general. Mm-hmm. I think we're asked to do a lot. So whatever I can do in the room, trying to help the young guys come along, whatever I can do on the field. I mean, I was helped by Jared and Cade when I first got here, coming up through the ranks. Now I want to be the one to help the younger guys come up.
I'm curious, what's that relationship like? Like, I know the relationship with the running backs that come through Texas. Like, believe it or not, all the way back to like Ricky, there's a connection with just about every era of running back.
He started that connection. Just so you know.
What's it like? Like, I'm thinking of Jermichael Finley. I'm thinking of DT David Thomas. I'm thinking of Andrew Beck. Do you guys keep in touch? Do they reach out at all and encouragement? Like, how's that? What's that relationship look like from the great tight ends of the past and the ones like you in the present and the ones that are coming up, the recruits that we don't even know about yet?
I mean, we do our best to help Banks recruit these guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, I took Spencer out a couple times, and I felt an instant connection with him. And Banks even tells us, he's like, if you don't feel connection with him, if you don't think he'll fit in our room, then let me know.
I respect that.
So that's kind of where we're at in the position room. We want to feel like they're going to fit in with us. We don't want some outcast in our room that nobody can connect with.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And that kind of goes right in line with just about every player that's been on this platform. Everybody speaks about like how tight the locker room is, comparatively speaking, now versus just even a couple of seasons ago.
For sure.
Like, in your opinion, what's been one of the differentiators between the culture, I guess, when you first got here versus where it is now?
Everyone just kind of bought in. I mean, some of the dudes on our team that really didn't care at all, they're either gone now or they're going to the draft. Mm-hmm. I mean, Sark really set that culture, and I think everyone kind of bought into it and bought into these new rules and the T-shirt deal with workouts, and everyone.
What's the T-shirt deal with workouts?
So we got a T-shirt system. So we got a white shirt, a gray shirt, an orange shirt, and a black shirt. Black shirt is you're perfect all week. Go to every meal, go to every class, study hall. Orange shirt is you miss one or two things. Maybe you miss a weigh-in, maybe you miss a meal, something like that. Gray shirt is you miss like multiple things, and white shirt is like you don't want to be in a white shirt.
So is this safe to say
everybody starts in white?
No, everybody starts in gray. First week you work your way one way or the other. Yeah.
So if we get into this thing, let's say we're no longer in January, we're in June. and I walk in and I see like some white shirts, am I immediately like stay away from that guy?
Or help him.
I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
try to help
thinking.
him.
I guess I'm thinking of it as a freshman coming in.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm a freshman trying to feel
Like,
my
who are
way
you
through
looking up
this
to
thing.
type
Who am I
thing?
looking?
Yeah.
Well, you
Because I'm
restart.
thinking of like culture, right? Like that culture starts with the guys that are learning even who to look up to.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right. So like if I walk in and I see the black shirts over here, I'm pretty much. Am I going?
Yeah,
that
so
way?
it's like a commander system, we call them. So there's like 8 kind of captains, and you choose your co-commander and you draft a team.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah, so based on everyone else's production in the past semesters, you see this guy was in black the entire semester. You're gonna pick
First
him.
round draft pick.
Yeah, exactly. And then you go down the line. Well, this guy was in white 4 of the 5 weeks, so why would we take him?
Oh, wow.
Accountability.
I
Building
love
it up.
it.
That's good insight.
This
Like,
is
I
the
love
first
hearing
time that
this.
I don't know about you guys. This is the first time
I didn't realize the
absolutely love
shirts
this.
were involved to that degree. So
Right.
I mean, just from talking to you for a bit, Gunnar, I'm so impressed at the way you carry yourself. I can tell you're a leader, right? Where does that come from? Was that something you learned from the older guys? Is that family? Where does that?
I mean, yeah, I definitely wanted to increase my role as a leader. I've never been the most vocal guy, but I mean, I'm never going to quit. I like to lead by example. So in the summertime, I'm not going to be the big rah-rah, come on, we can do this kind of guy. But I mean, more often than not, you're not going to catch me bending over. Going to try to just carry guys under my wing as much as I can. Try to get all these new guys to buy into this culture that, the vets that just left set and kind of buy in as a team and get close as a team again, and so that we can make another run.
Well, who for you when you first got here, when you first showed up on campus, who kind of led the way and took you under their wing?
There were a couple guys. I think Cade Brewer was a big one. Just kind of being an Austin guy, and I kind of just embraced everything he did on and off the field, and it put me in a great place.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
are you the tallest on the team?
No,
Who's taller?
Who's taller? Cam?
there's a lot of dudes taller. believe
Who's
it or
taller
not.
between you and Ethan Burke?
Oh yeah, Burks.
I think
6'7".
Burks, yeah.
Yeah, I would
Burks
say
taller
Burke
than
is
me.
probably the tallest on the
Big
team.
boys over there, man.
Cam Williams, big.
Yeah, Cam's
Yeah,
tall.
he's
yeah.
6'8".
Cam's 6.
Well, that ain't that many. It can't be that many.
Oh, there's quite a few.
Going to the SEC.
What do you
bro.
guys?
I've heard it all. I've heard 6'5". I've heard 6'6". I've heard
It's like
it
I'm
all.
whatever you want.
Yeah, seriously. Anywhere from 6'5" to 6'6 and a half.
I'm tall.
The problem,
Just
I'll
say
be
I'm
honest with
I'm
you,
6'2".
the problem ain't never when you walk out there and it's like, oh man, they big. It's like, oh, they can run too.
Yeah.
That's the issue right there.
Oh, they can move too. Like that's when you got an issue. That's what it's looking like we got. I'm excited about it.
Absolutely.
I got a fun question for you.
Yeah.
So on Twitter, now known as X, a couple weeks ago, there was a fun conversation between greatest tight end of all time, Travis Kelce or Rob Gronkowski.
Ooh.
Who do you got?
Oh, that's hard.
Got a big one.
I don't know.
The
man.
game's
I
different.
mean,
Never mind. You go.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. The game is a lot different. I mean,
Yeah, I feel
with
like
these
Rob
West Coast
Gronkowski
offenses.
played 2 decades ago. Like,
The game's different today than it was 6 years.
Let him answer the question.
I would say Gronk. Yeah, I mean, I love Travis, but I mean, just go with. I think the more popular opinion is Gronk.
And are
Maybe
you
today's
thinking about the run game as well?
Yeah.
All right.
and that's why I had a feeling you would go in that direction.
Yeah.
But there was no wrong answer. I just wanted to pick your brain a little bit.
Now, can I please? Like the game is so different. The game is so.
Yeah,
It
but
is different.
Gronk would have evolved too.
Y'all talk about
not
evolving.
as
He
much.
played. He was in our generation. What are you talking
I'm
about?
saying.
This is in the 80s.
Wait, I'm trying to say.
Even utilized
I'm
same
trying
way
to
as
say that
Kittle.
like
He may
what you
not be as fast, but Gronk ain't slow.
Foz, what you
Welcome,
not
Gunnar.
seeing,
Welcome
what
to
you're
this.
not seeing today in today's NFL, you don't see a team come out and run 12 personnel for a good percent of what
Yeah,
that
true.
game is. Like Gronk played a
Well, but
different.
that's because they had 2 of them. No.
Yeah, they had Aaron Hernandez as well. But
yeah.
I guess I'm saying like the NFL has adopted the college spread. Like the Travis Kelce of the NFL now is a different tight end. It's almost like a bigger wide receiver.
Yeah,
finesse.
exactly.
You know
It's a
what I
lot
mean?
more
Like
finesse.
it's just a different. I think it's just a different game.
No,
So you can't compare. So you're one of those Michael Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. You can't choose somebody.
if I had to choose, I would choose LeBron just because I think that like that is.
How you just say you can't compare?
Like you just said, you can't compare. LeBron's so good that LeBron would dominate.
Man, we off track.
All right, back to football.
All right,
so,
we off track.
No, but it is newer now. I mean, it's like
Gunnar, you making sense.
It's like
Gunnar, you're not wrong when you're right.
It's like the Noah Gray. I mean, it's the Y and H. It's Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. It's not just a Y on the field.
Well, but that being said, I think this is a perfect segue to that. Is there a player, current or past, that you model your game after or just admire? And who would that be?
I love watching George Kittle.
Yeah.
I mean, I could look at any tape and try to take something away from his game, whether that's hand placement, whether that's how to cut block, how to run my routes, how to sell a hold, anything.
I always had an interesting question. When I played, and you talk about cut blocks, it just reminds me of the split zone where you go behind the line of scrimmage and you got to pick up the D end.
Yes, sir.
Do they make y'all stay high, or do you get to choose between blocking up high and cutting the D end?
When, early enrollee freshman Gunnar Helm got here, they taught us to go high. But now I go low whenever I can. Whenever I see a guy like you across the line, I'm going low.
Absolutely. Listen, Gunnar, I'll tell you if you haven't heard this already, you get a guy like that, this sounds bad. You throw where you need to throw. He's either going to jump, put his hands down, or it's going to be a bad day for him.
Let me give you a little bit more advice. So DN, study what your tendencies. Switch it up on them. That's the best advice.
I mean, I think I only cut twice or 3 times last year.
So take that for your tendencies.
Just trying to get a little bit used to it because it's a big thing in the NFL now.
I'm thinking back. Did I hear you say you watch George Kittle and sometimes figure out how to sell a hold?
Sell a hold. I mean, I knew coming out of my mouth, it sounded like I was trying to sell a hold. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about on defense.
Let's go, DJ.
I'm talking about in the route tree.
Not Gunnar.
Can he explain what it is?
Because he didn't. Right. He wasn't even talking about
talking about the route tree. Like basics, out routes, all that kind of thing.
Got you. Makes sense. He ain't let him.
My bad.
Yeah.
I was thinking something.
Look, DJ has been holding that in for a while.
That don't got nothing to do with Gunnar. DJ mad at Antonio Gates. Ain't got nothing to do with Gunnar at all.
Well, Gunnar, I can tell you love the game just by how much I can tell you study it, et cetera. What is it about football that you love?
Let's say just the competitive mindset and just the true battle, especially being in the trenches, like the next guy in the trenches. You do it all, especially a position like mine. Sark said it's probably the second hardest position to know in our offense behind quarterback.
Wow.
Just because of the complexion and the motions and route trees and blocking schemes and pulling and inserting, all that.
You got to be a smart player to play that. It sounds like.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Damn. What goes into it? I'm thinking about you and just what I feel from your personality, getting to know you here today, and then what I know about George Kittle. Guys like that tend to have like a different level of fun playing this game than other players. But what people don't know is to have that level of fun requires a different level of preparation.
Absolutely.
So like, what are some of the things that you potentially do to get yourself ready outside of what's required? Outside of the black shirt, the gray shirt, the orange shirt, what are you doing?
I take sleep very seriously. If I, get 6 hours, I make sure I take at least a 2-hour nap the next day. I always try to get at least 8 hours. Supplements is a big thing to me. They give us supplements every morning. A lot of guys just don't take them, but I can't really imagine not taking them. I mean, they don't put them out there for no reason. Started really taking care of my body more. Kind of just everything you need to succeed on the field.
So you sound like a pro.
Yeah,
I'm dead serious. I'm not even being funny.
Take it.
You sound like a pro right now. Yeah.
I would say, what's the next step for you? Like, what are you working on your game? What aspect of your game are you specifically working on this offseason?
Hand placement in the run game. Definitely footwork. Just the route tree in general. I just say everything, honestly. Just trying to fine tune everything. Going into a new league. New tendencies.
Yeah. What do you love outside of football? What gets you going?
Being new to Texas, I actually love being on ranches.
There we go.
Nice.
Just messing around on ranches any way I can, shooting guns.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so many things to do in the city.
Yeah.
Love to wake surf in the summertime.
Gunnar, you sound like a real Texan. I'll tell you that.
And maybe that's one of the reasons I ended up here.
That's true. Who are you closest with on the team?
There's a few guys. Hayden Connor, definitely Quinn. The guys I live with, Michael Taff, Cole Lord, Marshall Landwehr, just guys like that. I mean, I'm pretty close with Mo Blackwell, most of the starters. I mean, honestly, I'm pretty close with everyone. And I think that's kind of what a championship team should be like.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think that's all I got, man. I appreciate you taking the time out, Gunnar. I know we're excited to have you in the studio.
Absolutely.
And we'd love to check back in with you before.
You got a new fan in me, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
You got a new fan.
Appreciate
in me.
it.
I like to cheer for people. You know,
Yes,
I
sir.
like to cheer for people. You got a new. You got to stop saying sir. I'm not.
Oh, here we go.
I'm sorry about that.
These guys,
it's a hassle.
He's serving those guys.
I usually get that a lot
You know
when
what I
I
mean?
say
Yeah.
it.
Came before
Me and
Ricky.
you, we
can call
not.
Came before
You know,
Ricky.
we about right there. We can go get a drink.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These guys. No.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, man. Hook 'em.
All right, hook 'em.